I've watched the Commission Pastor program come up in the RCA over the last about 8 years, and it's been an exciting development. It has come up alongside the church multiplication movement and been intertwined to a certain extent, although it affects all of ministry in churches. I think it's exciting because I have seen people be able to get into ministry and change lives, bring people to Christ who would never have been able to with our traditional program. But these are people that God has called, He's put His Spirit upon them. They're people that have come up in the church as natural God-filled leaders. You see the same thing in churches all around the world, in different mission sites. Since I work with our global mission partners for our church, I've had the opportunity to travel to many countries. And it is amazing to see the leadership that has come up, how effective they are at bringing other people to Jesus Christ. So this opportunity with Commission Pastors to train people from all kinds of backgrounds, even people who do not fit as naturally into the pattern that we've established in our church as our church has formed through the years, has just given us entirely different opportunities to spread the kingdom of God. We began to watch for God leaders, people God had already brought up. His Spirit was on them, their heart and their passion were for Jesus Christ, just so intense it bubbled out of them. But they needed more training, they needed more background, more foundation to be able to go on and be leaders. So I've watched for those. I've worked with 5 people so far as a mentor. And it's exciting because you can see them grow and change so quickly. One of the things I like about the Commission Pastor program is that it's so flexible. One young man looked like he would fit into our system very well if people kept asking him why he didn't go to seminary. But he was in his early 20s, had not gone to college, had gone into a career immediately. And he was a natural leader, bringing other young people, young adults in their 20s especially, to Jesus Christ. To become an ordained minister in the Reformed Church, we would have had to have taken him out of his job of what he was doing in our church with that age group, and where we desperately needed his leadership. We would have had to send him to college and seminary for 7 years full-time. It felt like you would almost put him in an airplane and take him out of reality and say, here, read all this, learn all this, and in 7 years we'll land you back in earth with real people in the situation and then expect you to make a difference. That seemed like a tremendous loss. So he entered the Commission Pastor program and began to learn while he worked. And I've discovered that people who are studying while they work with people in the real world are far more effective because they can make that jump from here's the theology to what does this have to do with this young mother who's feeling desperate at this moment. There has to be a bridge. And they are forced to make that bridge, and it's one of the joys of being a mentor is to work with them, to make the bridges all along. And that's why Commission Pastors become so critical in this, because they are people who have come out of people groups we don't necessarily reach that easily. Our system is good. It does great training and has provided great leaders throughout the history of our church. But could it be possibly really accurate that one size, one shape of training fits every church, fits every people group, fits both people who have long time in the faith and people who have never heard of Jesus Christ, fits people that would be drawn to a church because somehow they sense like that's where they meet God, and fits people who would never go through a church door. No way, no how, ever in their life. I'm not going there. Can one size fit all? I think the Commission Pastor program in the Reformed Church in America is critical to its whole picture of developing leaders. It's not a one-size-fits-all, but we need responsibility and accountability. And that's sometimes a place where it comes into question. Is there enough accountability in this program? But commissioned pastors are responsible to be under the care of classes. They are responsible to obtain competencies, not just information, but competencies in all of the areas in the Book of Church Order that are covered by the seminaries. They are thus trained for the same purposes. If you're a commissioned pastor, you may find yourself serving in a church plant. You may find yourself serving in a ministry area within an existing church. You may find yourself the senior pastor in a growing church. There are commissioned pastors in all of those roles. So it really depends more on what God has called you to and how you are gifted and wired. But we have the opportunity in the Reformed Church to release more leaders than we ever could with only keeping it very tight in our current pattern. Well, we're breaking through that now in the Reformed Church. We're producing leaders in multiple ways, able to start a movement and a growth of churches. But it's not just about churches. Any church means that you're bringing more people to Jesus Christ. And that's our ultimate goal. I'd encourage people who are in leadership in existing churches to watch your congregation and the people that you associate with. Watch for gifts. Watch for people who God's been working in, and you can see they have gifts that God is using and is calling out further. Talk to them. Tell them they have possibilities beyond what they may think that they would have for going further and using their gifts for God. And if you're someone who has been in the church and you sense this nudging and you feel, oh, this is what I would love to do, this is what I have this passion to do, but I can't become a minister, I can't do all of the college, all of the seminary, I can't change some of the things, and I may only be able to be a minister part-time. I'm going to have to do some other things in my life. There are possibilities for you. You can serve, you can be trained, and you can be knighted, or you can be given authority through the Church of Jesus Christ to do what God's called you to do. So you are not limited. God has all kinds of possibilities for you.